Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And today I would like to do the oracle card reading for the month of March 2023 for the fire signs. I work with the elemental energies. I'm more comfortable with the elemental energies than I am with the zodiac, but the fire energy covers Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And today I am also trying something a little bit different by putting some background music to the video. Let me know if you like that or don't like that. I read intuitively, so the messages that come through may not be the messages that are directly on the card or in the little booklets. And if these messages are general for an entire group, so if they resonate for you, then they are meant for you. If they do not resonate, then they are meant for another person in the fire element. And I prefer to read week to week, so each week you will get a guide or guardian, a message from source, and a lesson or challenge that comes from the tarot. It's something you can work on that week, or something that maybe the energies are aligned, giving you a heads up that something might be coming. With that being said, we'll get going. If you're interested in any of the decks that I am using, they are linked in the description below. And so we'll start off with, there are 5 weeks in the month of March, and so we'll start with the Dragon Oracle deck. And your first guide or guardian for the first week of March 2023 for fire is the Emerald Dragon, bringing in healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your fifth dimensional blueprint. So this first week, the guide that's coming forward is really here to help you heal, help you work through any issues that have been coming up recently. And it could be just something minor, it could be something major, but there is a real sense of needing to work on the healing aspect, because the cosmic abundance that's referenced is this universal love, this ability to grow and manifest things in a very short order of time. And the Emerald Dragon is coming in saying, that's waiting for you, we just need to work on this healing stuff. And as you heal, you're going to bring in the positive energy. So you've got to clear out the way so that you can let this other more positive energy come in. And the Emerald Dragon is here to help you really work through, empty out that section, because the universe, nature, hates a void. So if you clear out that heavier energy, you're allowing this other energy to come in and fill that space. So the Emerald Dragon is really coming forward to help you understand what you need to release and let go of, and what can be coming in as a benefit to fill that void. Your message from source, this is a different deck than I've used before on here. It's the Gateway of Light Activation deck by Kyle Gray, and your message from source is the Ancestral Realm, karmic release, healing the lineage, and boundaries. So you have the Emerald Dragon coming in saying, let's work on some healing, let's clear out some heavier energies. And now you have the Ancestral Realm. This is your bloodline ancestors, or it could be your spirit line ancestors. So if you follow a lineaged religion, whether it be Catholic, Jewish, Wicca, however, but it's a lineaged religion, it's those ancestors that are going to be coming forward. You're not going to be able to call, like if your bloodline has nothing to do with the Gaelic nations, you're not going to be able to call on Odin to get the help because he's not of your ancestral line. But this one is saying your ancestors, those who have come before you in your line, they're being specific with it has to be within either your spiritual line or your bloodline. They're here to help you. They're here to help you clear. The Emerald Dragon is saying, let's work this stuff through, let's get this energy moving, and let's start to clear things. The Ancestral Realm is saying, clearing out here is a big part of it, but as you clear here, understand that you're clearing out through the karmic generations. You're clearing out through your bloodline generations. As you heal, and if you are sensitive, you'll probably have already been noticing this. As you are healing yourself, parts of your family, your blood family, aunts, uncles, mom, dad, brother, sisters, they're also shifting their energy, because we don't live in a vacuum. So as you heal, grow, and shift, you're shifting the entire dynamic of your environment. And that can cause a little chaos, but it's also a good thing because you're expanding other people's perceptions and their minds. You're allowing them to heal as well. So it usually takes one person to take that brave step forward, and that's what the ancestors are saying through the message of the divine, that it's time to really shake things up, because you're not just healing yourself like the Emerald Dragon's working with, you're shifting an entire generational pattern. So, and don't be afraid by that. That's a good thing, and that's something that you came into this life to do. So let's look at the lesson or challenge from the tarot. It's the Six of Chalices. And this card is saying what you've got going on right now, if it would focus, there, it doesn't have to be done alone. This is something that you really should have some support, whether that's with a class, with a coach, with a trusted family member, or a religious leader. It's really saying your lesson and your challenge as you're going through this healing this first week of March is to work with and understand that sometimes you need help, and that's fine. This card is saying, especially for fire, they want to be dominant, they want to be flashy and do it themselves. This card's saying that's cool, but you may need some help, and don't be afraid to reach out and ask for it, because your lesson or your challenge is to overcome that fear of someone judging you and being able to reach out to the right person for help as you're shifting and adjusting, because this is a lot of heavy energy right off the bat for March. So let's look at the second week of March. Hopefully it's a little more flowing than that one. But healing can be dirty. That's the one thing that I've learned over my years, and most of the guides that I've worked with have all said the same thing. Healing is very beautiful, but there's times when you're going through the shifting where it can be a little dirty. So your second week guide or guardian is the Magenta Dragon. Enables you to bring forward soul wisdom, awaken your soul memories, and higher spiritual understandings. Prepare for accelerated ascension. So the Emerald Dragon in the first week was prepping you to help clear out and tap into this cosmic abundance. Your guide the second week is the Magenta Dragon, which is aligned with your fire energy. You've done the clearing, you're bringing in this newer energy, and what that's doing is setting things in motion. It's speeding up a progress journey that you've already been on. But you have to work within the soul's wisdom. It's not something, oh, well, I think I can do this, I'm just going to plow right on ahead, and I have this gut feeling I shouldn't. Dragon is saying, follow your intuition, follow your soul. Your soul's memories are beyond this machine that's in your head. They have a certain limit of memory, which is great, but your soul is tapping into something that you agreed to long before you incarnated. And the Magenta Dragon is saying it's time to step forward, but it's time to step forward in the most aligned way for you. And the way that is for you may not match another person. And this dragon is coming in to say, let's work on this. Let's figure out what works best for you, and let's not worry about what other people are thinking. Let's really focus on how you can grow spiritually. And if your spiritual path doesn't match someone else's, that's fine. That's actually a good thing, because spirituality is a personal relationship with the divine, whereas religion is a group that you join to gain spirituality. Spirituality itself is that direct connection, and this dragon is coming in to say, let's support that direct connection. You can be in whatever group you want, but this dragon is saying your soul is going to guide you to the proper way and the proper connection. So let's look at your message from Source. It's the Crown Chakra Upgrade, Divine Connections, Holy Experiences, and Miraculous Energy. So you have this dragon coming in saying, let's work on a divine connection. Let's build this connection between you and the heart of the Creator. I think my music stopped. Oh, there it is. And what that's really saying is you're working to build and open up. So your message from Source is it's time to really work on the crown chakra. On most people, there's a little flat spot at the very apex of their skull. It's generally right between your ears. If you draw it straight up, and then from your nose back, you'll find that spot. And that's where your crown sits. This energy, when you look at this card, it's the dove. And if you've read the Bible and you've done the research on that, the dove comes down on the crown of Jesus when he's in the river. Well, that kind of energy, the Christos energy, this blessed connecting, ascending energy, is available. And it's a matter of, we have to be ready. That's what you're doing that first week of March, is clearing out so that you can actually bring that in. And now you have the magenta dragon saying, let's tap into that spirituality. Let's connect to divine source God energy. And the message from source is saying, working on clearing out your crown chakra, meditating on that beautiful white light, bringing in that golden energy as well. That way you can really open up to that divine connection. So let's look at your lesson or challenge from the tarot. And if you, we'll get to that, sorry. Your message or lesson or challenge from the tarot is the Knave of Wands. So this again is working with your energy. You're a fire energy, wands are fire. So this is saying you can take this to be very, very serious, this practice of connecting in. And your lesson or your challenge is, don't take this lightly and don't be flippant about it, but also know the way to do this in this most serious way, but without becoming militant or they're giving me an image of like a hammer striking iron. So basically, don't become militant and don't become hard. Don't lock yourself into, this is the only way this can be. That takes into a fanatical state, and that's not healthy. What they're saying is, be serious about it, but be open to the shift and flow. When you look at him, he's being serious, but he's on his own path. He's on his own journey, if it'll focus there. And he sees that he can stand alone, and if that's what he has to do, that's what he has to do, and he's resigned himself to being able to stand in that position. And when you are connecting in, your spirituality is a personal thing. And so this card is challenging you. Can you stand there? Can you work this? And the first part, your guide and your message are both saying this is what would be good to work on this week, because this is the energy that's shifting for you. And this one is saying, now be able to put that into play, but don't take it so far as to become fanatical. Be serious, but not too serious. So let's look at your guide or guardian for the third week of March. And if you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please click the little like button. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please drop those in the comment section below. And we will continue on. It is the third week guide or guardian is the Gold and Silver Violet Flame Dragon. Transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. It's time for a transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer services and grace. So you have done a huge shift this month so far. The first week you're healing and clearing. The second week you're connecting in with your spirituality. And this third week is, now that you're connecting, you're building that relationship with God, Source, Divine Energy. And what that's doing now is it's calling you to act. You can have that connection, but if you're not doing anything with it, it's like having a plant with seed, or pot with some seed in it, and you just let it sit there. You're not watering it, you're not giving it sun, it's just sitting there. That's what happens when you have a connection to the divine, but you're not acting on it. This Gold and Silver Violet Flame Dragon is really about, now that you're getting this connection and you're building it, how can you shift the energy around you? How can you grow your connection to God, Source, Divine Energy? And as you're doing that, how can you show that? How does it manifest in your life? It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be drastic. It's actually better if it's not. This one is saying, offering the service under grace. It's talking about doing those little small things. Volunteering at a soup kitchen, and you don't have to tell everybody, just go do it. Donating to a charity that you really do appreciate and like, do it anonymously. It's little things like that, is that grace part of it, where you're offering the service, you're offering this divine gift of your time, of your sometimes money, sometimes it's energy, but you're not asking for anything in return. And that's where you start getting into the generosity that taps back into that first week of that cosmic abundance. As you are able to give, you can receive. So there's a balance, but The thing with the gold and silver flame dragon here is it's really about being able to do it from a place of love and compassion, not for YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or any of that nonsense. This is between you and Source. And so it's that divinely guided action that leads you to those positions. And doing it with a sense of anonymity is actually going to help you grow spiritually as well, because you're going to realize you can do a lot and it only takes one person to start the changes. And that's the trick to the whole thing. And as you're doing that, you're transmuting those heavier energies especially anymore, we've got this idea of comparing ourselves to the Joneses, and that's a really heavy energy. So when you look at someone and you look at how you can use that information and grow, that's a little different than looking at them and being jealous. So it's ways to look at the energy there. But the gold and silver dragon are there to help guide you and help you understand how to change some of the less positive aspects of life into more positive aspects, but done through a sense of generosity and offering of service. And they're saying that the other thing you can do is, even if you're just doing meditations and prayers for peace, for healing of the planet itself, that is still offering service. So let's look at your message from Source, the Akashic Stargate, aligned with purpose, crossroads, and no wrong path. This taps back into what your second week was, because in this third week, you're working to align yourself. And that's where the golden, silver, violet flame dragon is transmuting the negative into the positive, changing something from an outward drive to an inward drive, doing things without the need for accolades. And the Akashic Stargate is saying, as you're doing that, you're tapping into the Akashic records of what you were before, what you will be in the future, and you're aligning to a higher timeline. That's what the aligning with purpose is. This week is a period of you're at crossroads. They're actually saying this month is a crossroad month for you, where you've been going along and now you're at this point where I can take this path and elevate, or I can take this path and just keep doing the same thing. And they're advising to work with the growth, because if you step onto the growth of doing this new thing and it's going to cause this growth and healing and change, it's going to accelerate your journey in a good way. But they're saying if you stay on the same path, it's not negative. We'll say that right up front. But what it is going to do is extend the journey that you're on at the moment. And if you enjoy where you're at, then stay on that path. If you're wanting to shift things up and you want to move it a little bit faster, then start to work towards this other energy that's coming in. So let's look at your lesson or challenge from the tarot. And that is the 10 of Wands. So this is the ending card. It's the last in this line of wands before you get into the royal houses. So you're coming to the end of a cycle within this space that you're in. That's a good thing and a bad thing. Not really. There's not really a bad thing here. But what it's saying is you've come this far. You've developed this passionate creative ability. You're working with these higher frequencies. You're really starting to tap into it. And you've kind of come to the end of a cycle. And that's going along with the message from Source, because you have a crossroads you're at, and the dragons are coming in saying, let's work on shifting this if you're ready to shift it. So you're at the end, which means you have a new beginning. You also have another path you can stay on. And this 10 of Wands is saying, do you want to keep doing what you're doing? Or do you want to shift and move it into a different frequency? So your challenge goes along with your message in the fact that there's a lot going on, and you have some decisions to make this week. And working with the gold and silver violet flame dragon is going to help you understand what would be the best for your soul-aligned journey moving forward. Both options are available. It's just, what are you ready for in the moment? And that both paths are viable, I should say, too. Let's move on to your fourth week. It's the golden orange dragon. Expands your light for ascension. Be peaceful warrior. Help those in need. Remember your magnificence. So this is still working with this energy of service, but you've worked with this transmuting of energy. You're clearing things out and you're uplifting yourself, with divine guidance, obviously. And so you have the golden orange dragon that is now that you've chosen your path and you're working along with it, this dragon is coming in saying, now let's work on uplifting it. If you took this basically the fast path, let's work on working this to the highest frequency for you at this time. If you chose the keep going on the path that you're on, this dragon's saying, cool, let's work on how we can tweak this and elevate you to the next step. So this 4th week is really about the next step, is what you're working towards in your spiritual journey. So let's look at your message from Source. And I don't draw cards ahead of time, that's the reason. It takes a little bit longer so that they come out telling you accurate information for the moment. And the other thing is these readings, because when you read any form of oracle, tarot, etc., you step really outside of the normal time-space reality. So whenever you do actually get to see this, whether it's in March of 2023 or 10 years down the road, the message that you're receiving is the message that was meant for you. So your message from Source is the Seraphim's Gateway, voice activation, angelic attunement, and divine support. So you're working with this big shift in spiritual energy this month, and you've made your decision in the 3rd week. The 4th week, you have the Golden Dragon who's coming in to support you, whether you're staying on the path you're on or you're trying something a little bit different or new. And you have the message from Source is the Seraphim's Gateway. These are a high frequency angelic choir. And what it's doing is it's working with your throat chakra. So it's activating your spiritual voice. It's activating your ability to express yourself. Most often, in today's society, we acknowledge everything through voice activated houses, which I whatever, not my thing, but you also have voice through podcasts, through YouTube videos, through all of these different ways. And so you're activating your spiritual voice. How do you express your spirituality and your spiritual journey? When people ask, something's changed, what's different about you? This card is saying, or this energy that's coming in is saying, let's work with how you express yourself in a spiritual manner. You have divine support and you have angels that are coming in. During this 4th week, they're saying that to be aware of the angel's name and energy that starts to come forward. There have been different people through the years. Some people like names. I'm personally a name person. I like angelic names. But there's also a group that works with angelic frequencies, so the angels of love, the angels of healing, the angels of prosperity, the different classes in that respect, but they're not choirs. You've got this high energy seraphim, which they are a choir of angelic guidance. And what they're coming in is to work with you. And so be aware this 4th week of any angel numbers. If you find white feathers, primarily white feathers, although it could be gray or it could be a colored feather, which would be even more interesting. But be aware of things like this 4th week of March, and really pay attention to your dreams, because you have a guiding angel that wants to come forward during this week, is what I'm hearing. And they're going to let you know in one way, shape, or form, either the name or the energy that they work with, so that you can tap into that a little bit better. So this 4th week is really about you're stepping onto your path you're taking the next step on your path, and you have a new angel that wants to work with you along this path as well. So let's look at the message or the lesson or tarot from lesson or challenge from the tarot. And it is the King of Swords. So you have, I'll have to edit this picture real quick. You have a lot of powerful energy coming in this week, and that's really about cutting through the illusion. The King of Swords, it's the King of Air. So you've got this powerful energy of let's cut out and clear out the things that are blinding you from reality. And so what your challenge is this week is, what illusion are you cutting through? What falsehood that you've kind of held on to are you willing to cut out? Is there a cord that you need to clear? Because sometimes we get attached to things without realizing it. We become very defensive of those things and can't figure out why, because it's not something we even follow anymore. It's not something that we're attached to or have grown with anymore, but we're still stuck to it. So King of Swords is coming in saying, what cord do you need to cut? What connection do you need to let go of? What is no longer serving you? Cutting away that illusion that you need that. So you have this high frequency golden orange dragon, you've got a new angel coming in, you've got divine support, but your lesson or your challenge is to look through the things in your life that you're still holding on to but can't quite figure out why, and then maybe meditate on how can you work through, clear that out. Do I still need this? Fill in the blank. It could be clearing out something in your home and making space as well, because it is getting into that spring cleaning energy. So let's look at the 5th and final week for March of 2023 for fire energy. And it is Pure White Dragon from Orion. Transform your ascension knowledge into wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. So your guide this last week of March is saying, going through what you have went through this month. You've had the Emerald Dragon helping you heal and tap into the cosmic growth. Magenta Dragon saying, let's move you forward and clear some, now that you've cleared out, let's move forward. You had the Gold and Silver Dragon in the 3rd week saying, let's transmute, let's learn quiet service. You have the Golden Orange Dragon 4th week, which was expanding, taking those next steps and feeling that support system. But then you come in with the very last of the month saying, now you've done all this prep work, you've done these steps, you've had some growth, some change, you're working through some stuff, you've kicked off another ball of energy rolling, and the Pure White Dragon from Orion is saying, let's put it all together. You've done your clearing, you've done your healing, you're connecting into source, you're learning how to speak your spiritual truth and expressing yourself in that way. And this is saying, now that you've gotten all the steps and all the tools, let's put them together. So this this dragon that's coming in is saying, let's really work with putting these lessons that you have learned into practice. And it could be something super minor, as in setting up a daily meditation where you meditate for the healing of people at a certain hospital. You start a prayer list on your Facebook or Instagram, and you just go through each day and you work on that. It's little things like that that are offering that service, but what you're doing is you're acting in truth, you're acting in honesty, you're acting with wisdom, which is knowledge in practice. So it's things like that you can do to help benefit others. And let's look at your message from Source. And I am open to suggestions as well. I just thought about this. If you like this style of reading, great. If you want to see something a little bit different, let me know. I've been thinking about doing a little different something or another in the next quarter or two. I'm just trying to find a style of layout that I like for that. So your lesson or your message from Source is the Merkaba activation, transcendence, ascension. You are rising. So this 5th week is really putting it all together for you. This is really building this energy of you've done this work and now you're triggering the next phase, which is awesome. And the next phase, again, it could be very drastic, it could be very subtle, but you'll know in your heart. And working with Merkaba, that's this 12-pointed star that comes in from the heart of Metatron, which is a divine connection to God. Metatron in meditation is one of the largest angels you'll ever come across. Some of the images, if you look them up on Google, they'll have pictures of this 1,000-eyeballed pillar of eyes and wings, and it's kind of creepy. But when I've worked with him, it's always just been a humongous angelic humanoid type person. But when I say humongous, when he picks you up to talk to you face to face, like here, you're about an inch tall at this point. Like, he's just massive. The energy of ascension, the energy of spiritual guidance is what he's bringing forward. His symbol is the Merkaba star, the 12-pointed star. And when you look at the energy of this card, because a lot of these cards have activations worked into them, you can get that feeling of ascending. You get that feeling of mind, body, spirit aligning for one purpose, connecting into Source God energy. And this is the the message that's coming through for this month is you're working to clear out so you can make space for a new level and a new set of downloads coming in from the divine. So let's look at your lesson or challenge from the tarot for this 5th week. And it is the Knight of Swords, working with that energy of clearing out and cutting away illusions. And so your lesson or your challenge is, as you're going through this growth and ascension period this last week, where you're putting things into action, you're putting all the pieces that you've collected over the month into play, this is saying be swift, but be honest, be truthful, and watch out for those little ego trips of, ooh, look at how good I am, look at how far I've come. That ego in there can get you in trouble, and this card, this Knight of Swords, is saying we can cut through the egoic's claws that are going to try to reach up and grab. This card is saying we can work with that as long as we stay keeping ourselves focused here. So that's your challenge for the 5th week, is just to stay focused and don't let the ego get in the way. Work with knowledge and wisdom and tap into those higher frequencies. So hopefully these messages resonate for you, fire energy. And if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like on it. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe down below. If there are any comments, suggestions, or even criticisms, as long as we're respectful, drop those below as well. I think we can all use a little bit more respect in our lives. With that, I will talk to you guys later, and have an awesome month of March.